It's time for my May garden tour. In just 6 short weeks since my last one, my Irish country garden has completely changed, and it's surprising quite how quickly it can do that. What looked quite open and bare in March, well, it's now starting to fill out, close over and just come to life in such a beautiful way. So many things are looking great. Others, well, they need a bit of attention. So come with me, let's have a walk around. I can't wait to show you what's been happening. So this space here, what I've been calling the secret garden, which is going to be the winter garden, well, it just looks completely different compared to 6 weeks ago. Back then, everything was really open. The trees were bare, you could see through it, and it felt much more exposed. But now, with all of the beautiful trees coming into leaf, there's so much more cover and it feels enclosed and sheltered again. And that's actually what made me start thinking about this space a little bit differently. I have talked to you before about how I'm leaning into making this a winter garden, which is going to have lots of winter and early spring interest in terms of flowers and shrubs. So the structure is still here and that's what I'm going to use, but the seasonal focus has shifted a little bit differently. Now, one thing that I have done is I've treated myself to a few really lovely, quite large shrubs that are really going to help this place take shape. And just look at the Acer. A few weeks ago, it was completely bare, and now it's fully in leaf. And the Mahonia, which is normally that mid-green colour through the year, the new growth has that lovely ambery red colour. And just quickly, if you enjoy seeing how my garden changes like this over time, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, because that's exactly what I share here, along with really good information. Now, the secret garden, soon to be winter garden, that's basically about it for now. So let's head across this way into the front garden. While we're on the way to the front garden, I don't know if you ever noticed this in your own garden, but at this time of year, it almost feels like things just change overnight. You go from seeing structure and space to suddenly feeling like everything is enclosing that little bit more, like you're surrounded by growth. And I actually love that shift. For me, it makes the garden feel like you're stepping into it and that you're amongst it rather than just looking at it. Just love those changes. Right, let's keep going. Now, into the front garden, and the change is just as noticeable. Pretty much in the same way as the secret garden, things have grown and the whole feel of this space has shifted. Not only have all of the trees and the shrubs leafed out, which changes the feel and the scale of everything, everything feels fuller, more established. And even something as simple as getting my lawnmower fixed has made a big difference. The lawn being neatly cut brings everything together. It frames the planting and it makes this space feel more intentional, more managed and more cared for. And then there's the ornamental crabapple, which is just covered in blossom at the moment. It's one of those moments in the garden where you really notice how the season has moved on. And now that it's starting to drop that blossom, you get this effect where the petals just fall like light snow. It is in blossom and it's so beautiful for such a short time, but it's so worth it. It's those small changes that if you take the time and if you're intentional to notice them, you realise how everything isn't just about growth. It's about how everything sits together, how it changes together, and how everything is working just like nature works, I suppose. But I want to keep going and show you the orchard next. It's at this time of the year where I think this part of the garden looks the most beautiful. This is a spring area. 6 weeks ago, like the rest of the garden, everything was bare stems, plain grass, maybe some snowdrops, but now it's completely different. Just like the crabapple, all of our productive apples are in blossom, and you can see the leaves just starting to push through and open out as well. It's that moment in the season where everything feels like it's on the verge of taking off. One thing that I do need to deal with that you may notice is the ivy. I have definitely let it get out of control in these trees, and part of that is because it is good for biodiversity. It provides shelter and habitat, but there is a balance to be struck because it's starting to dominate and put a lot of pressure on these trees. That's a job for another day. Another thing that I've started doing is leaving these circles around the bottom of each of the trees and leaving them unmown. I've planted bulbs into them, and over time they're going to develop into this lovely mix of early spring bulbs that are already there, but then some grass. I'm going to put some perennials in, and it's going to look wild but in an intentional way. I really love that, and you can see at the moment. Isn't it gorgeous? Now, one thing that isn't so gorgeous that I kept off camera until now is the grass. Right, let's talk about my lawn because it has taken a battering over the last couple of years. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you'll know that I'm a really big fan of this, the Moasure 2 Pro, and they're kindly supporting this episode. But why is it so useful? And what has it got to do with my grass? Well, this thing endlessly helps me in the garden when it comes to measuring quickly, easily, and accurately. It's better than tape measures. Instead, it uses motion sensors to calculate distance, area, even map topography in 3 dimensions simply by walking around. During my house renovation about 18 months, 2 years ago, the lawn took a hit. Machinery traffic, foot traffic, all of it left it really uneven with dips and hollows, and I wanted to level it out. But the big question was, how much topsoil do I actually need? And that's where the Moasure 2 Pro came in. Rather than guessing or trying to measure everything manually, what I did was I used the Moasure 2 Pro to walk and trace the uneven patches. It's brilliant for this because it can map out awkward shapes, non-linear shapes. You don't need straight lines, no perfect squares, just what you have in real life. And it does it so quickly and easily. And then inside the app, I used the fill function, which calculates the volume of each of those areas. So instead of over-ordering or running short, I had a really accurate figure of exactly how much Lawn Blend topsoil I actually needed. And honestly, this has saved me an unreal amount of time. No measuring tapes, no maths, no second guessing. Just walk it, it's mapped, and you're done. To find out more or to get a Moasure 2 Pro for yourself, check out the link below, and a big thanks to Moasure for sponsoring this episode. Now into the guild garden, one area that I adore but definitely needs a bit of attention at the moment. And as you can maybe tell, I've been doing a lot of heavy duty weeding to do a bit of a refresh with it. The bones are really good and all of the dwarf fruit trees are settling in nicely, and you can see that they're really starting to mature themselves. I'm starting to get harvests off them, and the blossoms of each of the trees are really interesting. You've got pears, cherries, apples, all slightly different, all flowering at slightly different times. It's beautiful. But at the same time, it's a good example of quite how quickly things can get away from you. 6 weeks doesn't sound like a long time, but let me tell you, in the garden, it really is. This is actually one area that I'm not completely happy with right now. I think in some ways I want to do a little bit of a reset, just redefining a couple of things and making it feel in some places a little bit more intentional again. But that's part of the fun of this process. You're constantly learning, adjusting, refining, changing what you've already done, because then you're perfecting it into something that is exactly what you want. This still is probably my favourite area of the garden though. You can see it behind me. We'll have a look into the greenhouse. Loads of really good things are happening there as well. Inside the greenhouse, things are certainly moving on really nicely. Everything that was just getting started a few weeks ago when I showed you it last, now properly underway. These are my Decayenne chili peppers, potted up, growing away really nicely. And I also have King of the North bell peppers. I started them early in the year, and now that they've got a bit of space and more compost, they're growing away brilliantly as well. I've got Pelargonium attar of roses cuttings that have rooted successfully, and now they're going to be growing, they're going to get potted on, they're going to stay in the greenhouse. It's a really nice moment just to enjoy. The tomatoes are going. I've got sun gold and sugar grape in their pots with their canes growing. They're steadily putting on growth. This is where things get started. This is where things get looked after. This is where things crop really well. And it's also a place where, regardless what the weather is, and which is handy in Ireland, I can sit amongst it and I can feel it. That's great, especially if you've got a cup of tea or coffee or a gin and tonic. Right, onto the pond. And last of all, at the end of the garden tour, we're at the pond. And this is one area that I am really happy with at the moment because I managed to fix the leak, which was a huge relief. The water level, well, it's now stable again, and that means that things are able to settle back into balance. The marsh marigolds, look at them, they are flowering their hearts out, which is great to see, and they really help to bring a bit of life and just colour and brightness around the edge of the water. Now, the water itself, it's looking a little bit green at the moment, but that's because I normally have an electrical supply that runs down here that runs a specifically designed pond pump that clarifies the water. But that electrical supply is no longer available because of the work that's been done on the house. So I'm hoping that it's going to stabilise naturally. And actually, another thing that I am pleased about is my tadpole rescue. The tadpole frog spawn rescue, where when the water level in this pond dropped, and if you want to know more about that, have a look at my previous garden tour video in March because it'll show you and explain to you all of the drama that happened. Well, the frog spawn I saved, I moved and put into the micro pond in the guild garden. They hatched and I've got tadpoles over there. The frog spawn that was here, that I relocated in this pond, it's hatched. So now I've got loads of tadpoles. I'm so happy because just as the guild garden is the heart of the edible growing and I suppose the greenhouse is the heart of the actual production, really the pond is the starting point, the heart of where so much of the useful biodiversity comes from to help keep down pests in the garden and also to support biodiversity and wildlife all around. And this really is the kind of moment that makes it feel all worthwhile. Not just how things look, but how everything in the garden feels like it fits together. The plants, the water, the wildlife, how I garden. It's so easy to focus on getting things right. But you know what, caring for something that feels alive, something that's constantly changing and that you're part of, that's what is really special. And I think that's the magic of gardening. I'm not great at letting go of when things aren't going well, but actually I should just trust that the garden knows what it's doing. Now, the next challenge is going to be keeping on top of this garden as the growth continues to accelerate, because really the next few weeks are when things either come together or get a little bit out of hand. So I'll keep you updated with how that goes. But don't go just yet. Here's my March garden tour. Check it out before you go to see quite how much has changed. It really is amazing. And until next time, see you later.